So that's it for the Swiss rounds, and in the finals we have Alexander on the right, who's been playing really well with his water and wind deck. And on the left side we have Marcus, who is playing his lightning and ice deck again. He has been playing really well and he has a score of 3-1 at the moment. This game is going to be really interesting because this should be Alexander's hardest matchup by far. He'll have serious difficulties getting the double Yuna and Len out, surviving, not taking a Seymour Odin, but living for a full turn and then going for the attack. I think it's extremely unlikely to happen. Alright, so Marcus plays a red mage and then a Gilgamesh to the field. I'm just assuming he committed this hard to play a Gilgamesh to the field because he has another Gilgamesh in his hand. That's the only reason I can think of him doing. He is usually just playing a backup, so I'd have an easier time seeing him playing the Summoner to the field rather than playing Gilgamesh, because it's a much better investment. And knowing that his opponent plays Bahamut, maybe it would be a good idea anyway. But on the other hand, Gilgamesh to the field is extremely interesting because it adds an option that if Alexander commits to a forward play this turn, Marcus can kill it, can break it for free and swing for a damage if lucky, and that is really interesting. So that it adds a whole new perspective to it. Marcus already setting the pace here. And we know that Alexander doesn't really have the on-play effects of lightning, for example. He can't really punish the Gilgamesh play here. Yeah, we saw the Gilgamesh there in Marcus' hand. He had a Gilgamesh in hand, so that is why indeed. And he just proceeds to pass a turn as he usually does. He passes a turn, he didn't have a 2-cost forward, but on the other hand there is a Gilgamesh for a strongest sword prepared here. Alexander sets up the Minwu play, so his next play is going to be near immortal and the on-play burns are not really gonna work. Very interesting indeed, but keep in mind that Black Mage and Fusoya greatly increases the reach of the lightning burns, so lightning is still scared despite Minwu. Alright, so we see Marcus claiming the tempo in this game, and we're gonna have to see Alexander have to try to change that, and his attempt to do this is by playing Waka, who takes a strongest sword, and we see a Terra, so Waka is immediately broken. That is absolutely huge, and that was for 2 crystal points for Marcus. Very nice play by Marcus, and a little bit lucky. Very nice indeed. Right, we see Gilgamesh swinging for damage, and Marcus has hopefully for his sake drawn another Gilgamesh, but what he wants to see at the moment is a backup. He definitely wants to see more backups, else it's going to be really difficult. Alex on the other hand is forced right now to play a forward. While he might need extra backups, things like Brother would be good play, he definitely needs to produce forwards at this point. Really unfortunate, because when lightning forces you into their tempo, it's going to be really difficult to sort of get back up from that. Marcus could be playing 2 backups now, and that would deal with Yuna, either that or maybe a Seymour, and then just swing for 2 damage. So lightning can claim the tempo and economy and keep doing damage by just playing backups now, and that's really what makes lightning super powerful. Unfortunately, I did not see a Seymour in Marcus' hand. I didn't see 2 black mages or anything. I just couldn't find any solution in his hand. So just swinging for damage is the best course of action. Let's see what he's throwing into the discard here. 7-cost Odin for a red mage. That is probably the best move. He really needs that economy right now. And while 2 red mages is generally a bit of a waste, that economy is totally required. You cannot stay behind in economy forever. And what we're gonna see from Alexander's side is most likely something like a Brother to find the Len. Either that, or we are going to see a little bit of a bigger drop that can't really be hit by Seymour and is probably protected by Minwu. Yeah, here's the Brother, and we're gonna look for the Len. Unfortunately for Alexander's sake, I don't think the Len Yuna combo is gonna go off here. I think we're going to see some sort of break go off and one of the 2 pieces are gone. That is a downside of this, and again specifically lighting, is going to be really difficult to get a hold of both pieces and having them lying there for a full turn rotation. That is going to be super unlikely, but it could happen, and Alexander has great economy now, and unless there is an answer pulled here from this, we're gonna see a very deadly play here. A Bahamut breaking Gilgamesh and possibly whatever card is played, as it can't choose the Terra. So that is going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting, no doubt. The Terra though is kind of safe from the Yuna-Len combo, but keep in mind that when they attack, all abilities are removed, so you can't activate, for example, the Terra special. You have to do that before they do that. So before the like the ability resolves, you have to do that. That is going to be really interesting indeed. Alright, we see Marcus play here. I'm assuming it's going to be Seymour. That would be his best play, but we could just as well see another forward. He might be playing Emperor, though it would probably be a little bit of a bad play. We'll probably go down. We see a Sage here. He is looking, he's digging for some specific card. A Gilgamesh, very interesting. He's hoping to be able to use the strongest sword to its fullest here, using it before Yuna and Len declares attack, but it's a 50-50 chance. That is gonna be a bit of a problem indeed. Alright, we see a Tidus played to the field for 4k brave character, and if Yuna would break, he gets to draw 2 cards. Very fine play indeed. Alright, we see a strongest sword coming up, I'm assuming. So in the combat preparation step, we see Marcus using a strongest sword to make sure that the Yuna-Len cannot go into combat and declare an attack. So before the declarations of attack, so in the end of main phase or in combat preparation, Marcus is declaring strongest sword on... was it Yuna? I think it was Yuna. Oh, we see an Odin. That is unfortunate. Alright, we see a party attack, and I'm assuming he's gonna pull the 4-cost Odin. No, that's not very good. I'm assuming the 4-cost Odin. Yeah, there we go. The 4-cost Odin is the best one because Len does not die from it. But a free 4-cost Odin is absolutely fantastic, and you can do that every turn. That is really huge. And if Marcus is not drawing a response to Yuna and Len next turn, we're gonna see the same thing happening over and over and over. And when they attack, they disable the Terra special as well, so Marcus has to use it beforehand, in which case Alex can just say, well I just pass then and don't attack. So he can't, like, Marcus can't bait with the Terra special anymore and just like do it like a trap. So that is really frustrating for him. That Yuna is absolutely fantastic. Right, so Marcus is tapping 2 cards and discarding a Terra and a Gilgamesh. It's gonna be something like a Dea. A Dea is interesting indeed. A Dea is a fantastic card, and we see the Yuna break here, I am assuming. Yeah, we see Yuna breaking. Is there anything else gonna happen? We see him picking up the Yuna with Scholar, losing a little bit of economy there, and he's not able to loop the Len with Scholar anymore. The idea is that you party attack and then use Scholar to pick up Len. Thus you get to sort of use a Bahamut without breaking Len, because Len is already pulled to the hand. Very interesting play. But this combination works as well, as he get to keep his Yuna, so he didn't really lose all of it. Quite a good play indeed. I'm feeling Marcus has the upper hand here though. He is in a sort of commanding lead, and all he needs to do now is break the Tidus and he should be alright. That can be a little bit difficult though with a Minwu on the field and a Maria. It's a very big Tidus indeed, so just a black mage or something is not gonna be enough. He needs something like 2 black mages, but he needs to leave space for his Lulu, so that can't be done either. Marcus might be digging for a Gilgamesh here. We'll see, it could also be a Terra, I'm assuming. The Terra is not big enough though, so we'll see. Yeah, we see the Gilgamesh is back into hand. He is stuck with an Emperor in hand though, so that is probably what he needs to play first, unfortunately. And Emperor doesn't really stop many abilities here. So Emperor is a little bit of a vanilla card at the moment. Alright. Okay, we see Alexander tapping 3 cards to play a Yuna to the field. It's quite a nice play indeed. The Yuna is back and the threat is back up and it's active once again. So Marcus really had to deal with one of those 2 cards, else he is in a world of trouble once again. Really scary. It is so frustrating to have to play against the Lennon Yuna combo because they can gain such extreme advantage by just party attacking, and a Bahamut suddenly appears, removing 2 of your best characters. And that sort of advantage generation is really hard to come back from. Very fortunate for Marcus that Terra is immune to summons, so that is a fantastic play by Marcus indeed. Is the perfect play against a summon based deck. It's just immune to all of those summons. Marcus played a Lulu to the field, so he is ready to break his own backups and replay, sometimes that is needed. Very nice indeed, and that is one of the things that makes Earth so good, because they are able to remove their backups and replay. But Lightning have their own version. It is a little bit expensive, but I really like the Hero Lulu. It is a really, really good card. The max potential of that Lulu is absolutely insane. And just a copy of Lulu and a little bit of Lightning, and it says wabam, 10k. It's a fantastic special. I think it's called Thundaga. Her special ability is a really nice special ability, so that additional copies are not like dead cards. Very nice indeed. Alright, Alexander is going for his play here. I'm assuming it's going to be another forward, and it is a pain. He has a Yuna on the field. He does not have a Riku though, so he's not going to be able to activate any cards. He could consider playing 3 of the Mill Riku just to be able to get that pain to even better levels. I think it's useful for this format to play a forward that is sort of free and has 7k. Super handy. We see Yuna and Len going for the attack again, and it could be a 7-cost Odin on Edea. It's not that powerful though. It is decent, but it's fair enough. We'll see what he does here. It looked like he picked a fairy to be able to get some card advantage. That is quite interesting actually. So he is going to use the fairy on one of his cards, and Marcus is simply taking the damage. Oh, and we see Edea EX Burst trigger. Edea EX Burst, that is a fantastic card. Very nice indeed. And we are gonna see Yuna brought to the damage zone. Very nice by Marcus, and showing the power of that Edea. And the Marcus having mostly lightning backups, actually only lightning backups, giving that Edea definitely a lot of power. It can't reach the Tidus though, because it says printed cost, and not what like you paid for it or similar. So the Tidus could not be targeted by the Edea, but the Yuna died unfortunately. Very, very unfortunate. That definitely helps with Marcus' options here. He is not limited anymore, and all he needs to do is deal with the Tidus, in my opinion. The rest should be relatively fine. The power level of the Lightning deck is kind of low actually though, so he will have problems running past the opponent's deck. We're gonna see what happens here. We see a Chaos played by Alexander, so he is trying to play the Chaos so that he is able to use off-color spells like Odin and Bahamut, I'm assuming. We're gonna see what he's doing here though. He has a few cards, so he should have some options still here. He would like to produce another forward just so he's safe from damage. Yeah, Waka is a perfect option, and Waka is going to be useful going forward as well, as he is able to swing for damage so very easily, as he gets very high power, and especially super relevant against his opponent. Marcus is at 5 backups and a reasonable hand size, so he's probably looking to remove the Waka and deal some tempo damage right here. It's certainly possible. We see a Ninja. Ninja being quite interesting, saying that Tidus you cannot attack. A very nice play indeed. And he is going to have to use another card. It might be the Emperor he has in hand. It's probably a good play. It stops the status reels. It's a little bit too vanilla, but it is a good card nonetheless. Yeah, we see the Emperor go to the field. Fair enough, why not? The Emperor definitely is a good card. It's affecting this format a lot. So special abilities, you can no longer rely on only special abilities. So decks with like Cloud and Gilgamesh, for example, relying on that as their only removal, they're completely shut down. And basically Earth is completely shut down as well. Very nice indeed. Alright, so Alexander is attempting to pick his best move for this situation. He really wants to get rid of Emperor going forward, and can't really do much about the Ninja, I'm assuming. 3... Oh, it's a Bahamut. Yeah, it costs another crystal point though. So he's going to have to pay another crystal point for it. Yeah, there we go. So he pays 10 for Bahamut, and it removes both a Dia and the Emperor, and now Marcus is in a really tough spot. That is going to be super difficult. How is he going to do this? Yeah, well, the Ninja at the very least will stop the first attack if possible, but it can't stop both Pain and Len, for example. It is very inefficient, but he might be forced to. If I was Alexander, I probably wouldn't swing too much now. I'd probably take it really easily. He doesn't want to lose any of his expensive characters due to the Ninja. So swinging now would be very unwise, possibly. I mean, wasting his opponent's resources on it might be nice, but a lightning deck deals with a single forward so easily that he probably wants to keep at least 2 active. Taking a single point of damage from the Ninja is fine, but if he attacks with the Waka now, for example, well, it might be problematic. There could be like haste characters or similar coming, as he has red mages. And that is probably it for this turn. Yeah, he's going to pass, and Marcus is going to begin his turn instead. Alright, Marcus' turn. During this turn he must produce at the very least 2 forwards, I'm thinking, or he's automatically losing this turn. He would like to draw a Lulu and something useful, but I didn't see it. Snow is not gonna help him, and I didn't see the other card. No, that's not gonna do it. Gilgamesh is not enough, and the 4-cost Odin is not gonna do enough either. No, that is probably game. That is probably game. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a ice backup, else I'd just play the Snow so it could cover an attack. And then I'd use 4-cost Odin to break, for example, the Waka, and play the Gilgamesh to the field, if I could afford it. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he can afford all that, so he's gonna have to settle in between the cards. Most likely attempting the Gilgamesh, but he would like to use both the Gilgamesh and the Odin, and that would leave him with a whole lot of cards. No, sure wouldn't. So I think that should be game. I don't think Marcus can get out of this one. Let's see what Marcus decides on here. He pays 4 for a Gilgamesh, I'm assuming. Yeah, 4 for Gilgamesh. And is he also going to use his Odin? No, he saves the Odin wisely, and he's going to use the Odin during this turn to make sure he stops his opponent a little bit. Alright, we see 4 for a Riku. Fair enough, why not? Riku on the field as well. This is a huge board. That is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. Waka wants to enter combat, and yeah, he's forced to take a damage here. Really frustrating for him. The cheap wind and water cards, Lightning just weren't able to chew through them in time, so that was really hard. Cards like Pain being really cheap, and cards like Lennon Yuna requiring 2 burns, and Minwoo just makes that really difficult to deal with. So that was it for this locals match, and the winner, Alexander, won with a Lennon Yuna deck. That is something, in my opinion, is kind of fun to see. So that was it for this locals tournament. Thank you for watching.